Hello, welcome back to Warrior Battles. Why did I do that? So today's battle is secktor versus cyrax versus smoke. But you might be confused, like, what do you mean smoke? Is it the ninja or is it the cyberbot? And to that I say, what are you expecting? Of course it's like the robot version of smoke. Like it's, of course, cyber smoke, like, you have secktor and cyrax. Why would I just put in, for no reason, normal smoke? Of course I would put in the cyber version of smoke. Bruh. Anyways, to the fight. Well, I first gotta go into the post-analysis part and see how the post-analysis. I'll probably begin in like 2 seconds. Let's start out with secktor. Secktor is a part of the Lin Kuei. The Lin Kuei is a Chinese assassination squad of ninjas who, they're like ninjas and assassins and stuff. And and they're pretty cool and stuff. Well, no, not really, because their leader, Sub-Zero, quote-unquote, killed Scorpion's family. Even though it was actually not, well, Sub-Zero. I plan to show me some stuff about Sub-Zero maybe in Season 2, whenever that comes out. Probably around Halloween, I don't know. I might make a video about Sub-Zero, maybe, on Season 2. Don't know who would fight in Season 2, but, I'll still be thinking about that. So, let's get into the history of secktor. Secktor is a part of the Lin Kuei, as we know, and his best buddy, or his partner in crime, cyrax. But we'll get into him later. We'll get into that dude later. Get into that guy later. Let me cook. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, secktor was a part of the cyber initiative, whatever that means or something. The cyber initiation, which turns the ninjas into robots. I think if you know anything at all about Mortal Kombat, that's probably something that nearly every Mortal Kombat fan would know. But if you don't, the cyber initiation turns people into, well, cyborgs. Real funny. Really, sure, I am the biggest fan of, robots and cyborgs and sci-fi stuff. But, this is pretty cool. Secktor has a grapple hook, into the abilities. Secktor has a grapple hook and can extend an elevator arm crusher thing from his chest. He also has missiles, a flamethrower, and pretty much all of that. But that's not really all, because he also has a flamethrower, and he also takes a role in one of the newest games, Mortal Kombat 11, where he just appears for 2 seconds, then gets exploded by the Black Dragon clan. I don't really need to inform you about that if you know anything about the Mortal Kombat lore. But if you aren't, I'll just, if I ever make a video on one of their clan members, I might make a video on them at some time. Maybe they might appear in Season 2, I don't know. But that was secktor's post-analysis. Now on to cyrax. Now let's get into cyrax. Cyrax is, secktor's partner in crime. And he's also a part of the Lin Kuei clan, as you probably expected. Cyrax, he was turned into, the yellow ninja. Oh yeah, Secktor is the red ninja, by the way. You might see him in the, you might see him in like the thumbnail. So yeah, that's the red one's cyrax. I mean secktor, and the yellow one's cyrax. Then you can guess who's Smoke. But yeah, no. Onto Cyrax's abilities. I don't really know much about Cyrax, except he has like a claw. He can throw bombs out of his chest. He can turn into a helicopter. And yeah, no, that's kind of it. Smoke. Smoke is the smokiest of the Lin Kuei people or something. You know. He can teleport, he has a grappling hook like all of the other cyborgs. And yeah. But that's kinda it. He also can throw out bombs from his chest. Oh my god. Now that all the other stuff, all the other I forgot. After everything, currently everything is now done, and all the characters have been explained. It's time for them to fight. Now let's get into the 5th fight of Warrior Battles. Well, that was very interesting. The reason why Smoke won is because while everyone's the same speed except Secktor, who is the fastest, he has rockets which could boost him, but Smoke simply just has better abilities. His teleportation allows him to teleport around and dodge attacks more easily without risk of dying. Well, Cyrax is probably the weakest one in this case because his abilities aren't really that strong. They're all the same amount of durable, which they could actually take a bunch of rockets to the face, which shows that they can take a lot of damage. But if you don't know, every Mortal Kombat character is pretty much susceptible to getting ripped in half. And yeah. The winner is Smoke.